Well, of course, the opinions mix depending on who you talk to. There are some of the members who think it's a good bill, and there are some of us who think that that needs some correction, regardless of whether it may be a good bill as a whole or not, because this bill was, of course, conceived in the Senate, passed in the Senate, and the House has not had an opportunity to study the bill or to look at it. And just on a very short inspection, I find two things there which are, in my opinion, very important and which would cause me to vote against this bill if it were to be considered on the floor of the House at this time. First one is connected with the vending machine industry. You remember that I was the chairman of the House Investigating Committee, which came to Dallas and Fort Worth and so forth. And on the floor of the Senate today, there was an amendment added by Senator Bates in an attempt to meet a situation which we recognize as being inequitable, and that is that a person owning a single vending machine would have a license of $300 on that machine. Now, this provision was put in the original bill to passed by Clark of Dallas in the regular session to penalize the vending machine industry, the ones that we were trying to get at in the taverns. But Mr. Bates's amendment, drawn in a hurry, and he recognized this and so stated on the floor of the Senate, changes the law in a way that he didn't intend it to change it, and he has since admitted it. It says that any person who has a single place of business and owns a music or a skill machine or a pleasure-operated, coin-operated machine, that is, I'm talking about these vending machines now, does not have to pay the $300 tax if he owned the business and the vending machine as of the effective date of this act. Now, this anybody from now on that went into the business and bought a vending machine would be subject to the $300 tax. And this means that it plays right into the hand of the vending machine industry.
It was overcast and raining in Royse City today, but nothing could equal the political storm which blew out of City Hall here last night. During a rather bitter meeting between opposing political factions, the city attorney was fired, the mayor quit, along with 2 councilmen. The trouble all began last April following a rather bitter political campaign in which 3 newcomers ousted 3 incumbent councilmen. It ended today with Mayor Elliott throwing up his hands in disgust and quitting. I talked with him about it.
Well, since Mr. Moyt's been in, he hasn't let up very much himself on putting the pressure and trying to do things his way and not considering the council at all, or at least myself and Mr. Sarles and Mr. Gilliland. He wants to kindly run the whole show to suit himself, and heretofore he's had been fortunate enough to get the majority of the council to vote with him.
On the other side of the political coin, I talked to Councilman B.G. Moyt about his thoughts on the situation.
As adults, I think that we should be able to work these things out without the confusion that was engendered in last evening's council meeting.
Where does Royse City go from here? Mayor Pro Tem Glenn Dotson talks about it.
We have a call meeting for tonight to try and plan some course of action. It may be necessary to call a special election. I don't know yet, if these people have officially resigned.
Royse City is an old town which only recently began to grow because of all the lake developments around the area. It never really had a political controversy before, but this one may make up for all those it's missed. This is Tommy Ayres reporting from Royse City for Channel 8 News.